Welcome to Issues and Answers with your host Diane Kinderwater. Issues and Answers is presented as a public service to inform, educate, and better the lives of New Mexicans. And now, Issues and Answers with your host Diane Kinderwater.
Welcome to the program. I'm Diane Kinderwater. Do you want to be an escaper? How about a boomer? You might already be a boomer. We're all probably boomers who are watching this show. And how about a boomer, escaper, and balloons? Well, on the program today, I'm going to tell you all about these words. What is she talking about, escaper? We're going to talk about the world of RVs. That's when you're escaping. And the world of boomers and balloons. That's when you're of boomer age and you love our Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. I have Betz with me. He is from north of Seattle, and he's going to tell us about how he got involved in the escapers and how he got hooked as a boomer with balloons, and how you can volunteer and become an escaper, a boomer with balloons as well. So stay with us as we talk to Bud Betz and his experience with the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta and getting hooked his first year. We'll be back right after this.
Hey America, now there's a place where we can join our voice, Real America's Voice. Real America's Voice is coming to a town near you with a grassroots approach, bringing the real voice of America together. Real America's Voice is growing our family of networks across the country, and soon you could be part of that change. Download the Real America's Voice app and join other Americans just like you across the country, coming together for real.
Well, I told you about boomers and balloons and also about escapers, but I didn't tell you about navigators. What is Diane talking about navigators? Well, those are the people who make our Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta work, get off the ground. They are the volunteers. And here in New Mexico, in any place in the country or the world, you can become a navigator. I've met many of them, and a lot of them are not New Mexicans. They're people from all over the country who come to volunteer their time because they get hooked on something that's right in our backyard. So if you're a New Mexican, you can volunteer because it's easy. It's right here. These folks have to drive in, fly in, and get a hotel room. But you and I can have it right in our backyard. One of the boomers and navigators, an Rvr and escaper is right with me today. Welcome to the program. Bud Betz.
Glad to be here.
Olympia? Well, Olympia, not Washington, but you're from north of Seattle.
Correct.
And you got hooked on the Balloon Fiesta, and you're going to be coming year after year and volunteering and becoming a navigator.
That's correct.
Why is that?
It's fun. The navigators treat me like family. They're a great group to work with. They just have their act together, and it's a well-organized machine, and it's well run.
You've only been volunteering 1 year, two Balloon Fiesta. You're coming back in this year, 2024, and probably beyond. What would you like to tell people about, again, New Mexicans who are right here to be able to volunteer at the biggest show in New Mexico?
It's rewarding. It's heartfelt. This is the largest festival in the world for hot air balloons. It's the most photographed festival in the world, according to Kodak. And the spirit that's here is unlike anything that I've ever seen. And that's what keeps me coming back.
You've been an escaper, RV escaper, I think since 2017. So you've escaped. Tell me about the escape. I mean, you've escaped about throughout the country, but you're finding New Mexico is really the place to be in October.
Yes. I joined the escapers because of my friends. I was going to go with them to the Balloon Fiesta in 2020, but we all know what happened there. And
well, that's because of COVID. We didn't have it.
yes,
Okay.
and we tried again in 21. Didn't work out. I came last year. Got involved with crewing through our group. Got involved with photography through the navigators, and fell in love with it. And I'm coming back.
The navigators is the volunteer group, and I think there's at least 1,000 volunteers. And
1,200, I believe.
1,200 volunteers, and they look at your nice vest. What do they give you as a volunteer?
Well, they give us a vest. They give us some pins to trade, jackets, some shirts to wear, and food to eat, and places to go, and good people to be with.
What do you mean, good people to be with?
The navigators, the people that come from around the country that have that servant attitude, that servant heart, that want to contribute to something great, and this is a pretty great place to contribute to.
So did you drive here, fly here from Seattle?
I drove down. I had a photography conference in Moab a couple weeks prior, so it's been a fun trip, just traversing down and having a good time.
Well, did you come in an RV then?
I did.
Okay, because you're part of the escapers. Where do the RVers stay?
We have a line of RV spots in the box view in the south RV lot. So we're off Alameda. We're right across the street from the Balloon Museum, and we come early and we stay late and we work hard.
That's free as well.
No, we pay for it. We pay the Balloon Fiesta for our spots, and we crew for the pilots that need help, and in return, we get a lot of love in return.
What do you mean? You get a lot of love in return?
Our pilots take care of us. They take, for crewing, they take us up in their balloons. They feed us. They take care of us. There's a little bit of reward for helping them out.
So a lot of the people, 1,200 volunteers, the navigators they call them, stay perhaps in hotels, maybe Airbnbs with family and friends, but you're staying in the RV park, and you pay for that. You pay for that.
My group pays for that. Some of the RVers, when they come and volunteer, they get a spot to stay at no charge because they're working for the Fiesta. But we pay to come, and we have a good place to stay.
Tell me about the escapers.
Well, the escapers are a nationwide group. They got together, I believe, in about 2006, or I'm sorry, 1978 is when the original group stood up. There was such a growth in from 78 to 84 that they started organizing different chapters and organizing different special interest groups. And it has grown so rapidly that they've got, I believe, 36 chapters throughout the U.S. and 2 other countries. They have 34 different special interest groups, what they now call birds of a feather. And they changed the name from special interest to birds of a feather because it just creates more interest in for people to be attracted to the group.
Birds of a feather flock together. What
Correct.
are some of the interest groups, Bud?
There's ham radio, there's 4-wheel drive, there's campfires, camping. We are Boomers and Balloons. Boomers and Balloons comes to Albuquerque every year and offers our service as crew for the pilots that come in shorthanded or out of town or whatever the case might be.
And a lot of them crew then. That's
Correct.
The Boomers and Balloons are really crew people.
We are. That's the whole point of coming, is to help crew. So
Help crew with the pilot.
Yes.
But you've learned there are other jobs, other volunteer jobs other than crewing.
absolutely.
Now, are the crewers considered navigators as well?
No, they're not. They're not part of the Navigator group. We're an independent RV group that come and crew for.
No,
the
but I'm
pilots
saying,
that
are
we
the
have.
crew people who volunteer as crew for a pilot, are they part of the navigators who get the coat and the balloons?
No, they are not.
The crew people do not.
The crew people do not, but they get passes for the entire event. They get to attend the whole show as part of crewing, as a perk for coming in and crewing.
So your escapers group is, your birds of the feather is Boomers and Balloons.
Correct.
And mainly crewing for pilots.
Crew, correct.
But you learned there's something other than crewing.
I did. I learned there's photography. When I joined when we got our spot for RVs in 2022, I was a late comer coming into the group. So I started looking at the website, the Balloon Fiesta website, and I saw a photography section, then I saw a photo section, and then I saw an application section for photography. And then I saw that it was closed, or it was only open from 1st of March to the 15th of April. But Ken had his contact information there, so I sent him an email and asked him if I could join. He replied back and said, the application process ended the middle of April, but I have a friend that got started the same way you did, so come on down. And I joined the team kind of as a late bloomer, ad hoc, I wasn't really a navigator last year, but this year I put in the paperwork and got accepted, and it's been a joy.
What do you do as a photographer?
Take photos of balloons, of the different vendors that are here, all the different events that occur, the parties, the...
Wait a second, there's parties? Tell me about the parties.
Well,
We're not privy to the parties.
They have to take care of their volunteers, so they celebrate their volunteerism with food and beverage.
I think there's two main parties and a trip to the zoo, Albuquerque Zoo.
That's coming. That's forthcoming, yes.
That you have every year. So you shoot photos. Do they give you an assignment? How many times you have to work? How many hours a day?
Ken's pretty liberal. He gives us assignments. He's got an assignment sheet for specifics. Tomorrow I'm covering the balloon of the day.
During the Balloon Fiesta? Okay.
Yes.
In 2023 you did that?
That's what I'm doing this year. He has assignments. My assignments are coverage of the chainsaw carvers and the artisans tent. And I have some specific assignments with covering the balloon of the day on Wednesday. And otherwise, he's got a list of things that he's looking for. He just wants us to capture as much as we can and submit it up to the cloud.
How many photographers do you think there are?
There's 20, 22 that are there this year. We had 13 last year.
Oh, it's grown.
Yes.
Why do you think it's grown?
Interest. And
interest of people who want to volunteer to be a photographer, or
yes.
interest of?
It's word of mouth advertising with us as volunteer photographers talking to our friends and the network that we work with.
Do you have to have your own equipment?
Of course.
Tell me about that.
Well, you're expected to have a quality camera, various lenses of long and short focal length. You're expected to know how to do post-processing with Lightroom or Photoshop or whatever editor that you're doing. And you have to be able to upload those photos to the server that Balloon Fiesta manages.
What do you think will be done with the photos that the 22 photographers are shooting?
As I understand it, the photos and the media that we provide to the media team, they will catalog it. They will go through and determine what they like, what's useful for whatever venue they're trying to do. And then they'll start processing that for the 2025 season. That'll take about 2 years for them to catalog and get all their production data taken care of and fit what we give them into what they're trying to produce.
What do you think they're trying to produce? I know, of course, they produce the calendar.
I got on December's page this year. I did. Yeah, the pilot that I was crewing for, I shot some photos of the inflation and deflation, and there's a device in the top of the balloon called the parachute. And the December calendar is all about the parachute, and they use my photos as the example.
Oh, is there an actual, is it a 12-month calendar or one?
It's the 12-month calendar. It was for 2024, published this month, I believe.
Your picture is in the December.
My picture of Breezy Rider's parachute is in the December 2024 calendar.
You're a newbie. How did a newbie get his photo in the December?
Lucky, I guess.
What do you think was so great about that photo? I mean, this is really surprising because you guys shoot millions of photos and you, as a newbie, got your photo in the calendar.
Yes. I don't know. I guess December was all about the parachute, and I had the best photograph of the parachute of all the parachutes that were submitted. That's the only thing I can figure out.
What do you mean the parachute?
Well, in the top of the balloon, there's a covering that they close to keep the hot gases in,
right.
And they open to let the hot gases out to descend in altitude. And it's a pretty important piece of equipment in the balloon. And December's article on the December calendar was about the parachute and the red rope that the pilot uses to open the parachute and let the gases out.
And that's what your photo is of?
That's what it was of.
Well, congratulations.
And my name is in the bottom.
Bud Betz.
Yeah, my pilot sent me an email saying, congratulations on the photograph, and I had no idea.
You're spoiled from here on out.
I guess.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations,
Thank
bud.
you.
That's fantastic. What else would you like to share with our viewers?
Get involved. It's an awesome fiesta. It's a great celebration of hot air ballooning. The crew that volunteers to make it all happen is that everybody treats everybody like a big family. It's something to look forward to year after year after year.
Tell me the experiences with the people. If you meet people, like, where are they from?
We've got photographers here from Germany. We've got photographers here from all over the U.S. We've got local photographers that are here. One young lady that I'm working with, her name's Audrey. She's a college student going here locally at the University of Mexico, and she's making an application to apply for MIT as an astrophysicist. And she just lights me up with joy because she's interested in science and technology, and this is an avenue for her to explore the science of photography and astrophotography. And
Astrophotography. Tell me a little bit about that, Bud Betz.
taking photographs of the stars, the moon, the Milky Way, the lunar eclipse this coming Saturday.
Well, that's coming. It came in 2023.
Yes.
So, how did you meet her?
In our orientation, our group meeting, we all just came together and shook hands and said, "Hi, how are you doing?" She joined me up at the top of the hill during the first glow, and we were doing photography and talking about stuff.
Any tips you'd like to share with the viewers about how to shoot? I mean, it's kind of easy. Shoot the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta.
Come with an open eye.
What do you mean by that?
Just look around you and find something that piques your interest and hold your camera, whether it be your phone or your DSLR or your mirrorless or your GoPro, whatever it is, and just push that button, take that photograph and take it home and cherish it, because it's a snap moment in time that you'll have with you forever, hopefully.
What would you say the most, of course, it's incredible how things have changed. It used to be the Kodak International Balloon Fiesta where they used to sell rolls of Kodak film. I'm not even sure if that exists anymore. But I mean, people have the ability to shoot hundreds, if not thousands, in one session.
Yes, I'm up to about 3,500 right now for the last 3 days.
What do you look for as a photographer?
I look for composition. I look to see that I have something in focus. I have nice background. I have, something of interest that I think my audience would want to see.
What would be of interest?
Balloons flying, candles from the burners, groups of balloons together, special shapes, people having fun. I cover the artisans and the work that they do and try to portray them as masters of their craft. The chainsaw carvers in particular, I'm close and personal with them as they're working on their carvings.
Tell us a little bit about the chainsaw carvers.
These guys are from Colorado. There's 5 different carvers there that use electric chainsaws, gas-powered chainsaws. They use grinders. They use propane torches, and most of them from memory are able to carve out from the logs that they have bears and fish and eagles and owls, and just and put those together as an art. They're pretty good at it.
From memory.
They're doing it quite a bit.
They've been doing it for years.
Yes.
What's interesting, it's at the very north part of the Balloon Fiesta field, so if people would go there in 2024, they can see it. But not a lot of people stop by that area of the
This
field
is true.
because the buses, the park and shuttle buses, tend to be in the south part of the field, and that's where the balloons tend to fly over the south part as well, usually to the west and to the south. That's where a lot of the open space is, so these folks don't venture up to that part.
Agreed. Yeah, the chainsaw carvers are at the far end of the north field. They're on the eastern side of it. The Balloon Discovery Center is up there. The artisans tent is up there. There's a lot of jewelry makers and craft person, the creators up there. There's one fella from Alaska who's down here and has a wonderful shop of Alaskan type items. And there's a good bunch of people there. I've gotten to meet and talk with them, and they're all just waiting for folks to come in and see them.
So the artisans, other than the carvers, the artisans are selling their wares in that booth, but they're not really making it there, or
Some of them are.
Okay.
Some of them are. There's a young lady there who's making stained glass balloons, and she puts them together and puts them on her wall, and they fly off the wall as quick as they can. Another lady's there makes jewelry, and her jewelry is selling pretty well. Other folks that create stuff or create things, they're doing okay. There's a lemonade stand that sells lavender lemonade, and it's quite tasty.
So your assignment has been to shoot them as well?
Yes.
To shoot them
Yes.
as well.
And I've gotten to know them a little bit, and they're great people.
What other things have you seen at the Fiesta? Again, you've been there 2 years now, going to be there 3, 4, 5, 6. What have you seen that's kind of surprised you or that you didn't realize you'd see and do at the Fiesta?
Oh, that's a hard one. The sheer volume of the Fiesta was overwhelming at first. My first day on the Fiesta was during Dawn Patrol, and one of the veteran photographers who was here took me out to the field and right down the line of Dawn Patrol, and I was just blown away.
And Dawn Patrol is about 5, what time is it, about 5 a.m. or 4:45 a.m.?
Something like that. They go brief early for their pilot briefing, and then they man up and they're up at the crack of dawn.
Prior to dawn. Dawn
Yes.
Patrol is prior to dawn.
Yes, they're airborne by the time dawn rolls around. And it's pretty exciting to be out there with them lighting off and launching and hearing all the whistles and hearing the oohs and the ahs and the applause that comes with them launching. It's pretty good.
My first experience, I always thought the Balloon Fiesta was like a state fair in reverse, meaning you go like where the rides are, the amusement park, because you go there at night when everything's dark and all the lights are, and then the dawn comes and then it's daytime. Unlike a state fair, you go there during the day and then this goes into night and you see all the lights. So it's just in reverse.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the glows at night that they do is just phenomenal. The last night was night before last was the first opportunity I got to walk amongst the balloons as they were glowing, and the live broadcast that comes from Ken, he announces what he wants them to do, and they'll twinkle, they'll full burn, or they'll do other things. And I was down
Flickering, they do the flickering.
Flickering,
the
yeah.
flickering
And-
of their propane.
I was down walking amongst the balloons as they was doing that, and it was just, wow. It was just awe-inspiring.
And what they say, Bud Betz, is what's so nice about our event is that you're not cordoned off, like away from the balloons. Up in personal, you see people and their little babies touching the envelopes of the balloons.
Yes.
I mean, you're
Yes.
up there right
That
in the way, in the way of everything.
That was probably the best thing that I've seen since I've been here, is the ability to get up close and personal with the balloons, talk with the crews, talk with the pilots, just stand there in awe and in wonder of how they do it, what it takes to be a balloon pilot or a crew or that kind of thing. It's fabulous.
Of course, at some points they're busy. That was probably when you were crewing. When you land, you have more time to talk to the pilots. But they talk, they give out the cards, but it's pretty busy at that point when they're inflating their balloons, first with the cold air and then the hot air to have them rise, correct?
Yeah, the first part of it is laying out the tarp and then bringing out the envelope and stretching it out, hooking up the burners, hooking up the lines to the basket, starting the big fan that's run on basically a lawnmower engine, and all the noise that goes with it, the cold inflation, getting the balloon up to a point where it's ready to take the hot gases. The pilot, lights off the burners and puts the hot air in there, and up it comes. And then it's tethered to the truck and waiting for the zebras to come and say, go, go, go.
Give them their launch. And Bud, you come from all the way from Seattle to enjoy this.
Yes, yes. It's a journey. It's not about the destination, it's a journey, and this is part of the journey.
Other places that your RV escapers have gone to that you've appreciated across our country?
They're all over the place. They have big annual parties in the desert Southwest. They have a big gathering in California and all over. Yeah, they go to Alaska, they go to the East Coast, they go overseas to some of the other countries. I haven't personally been there, but they're a big international organization. They have a lot of fun.
They don't take their RVs overseas.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. And the cost of gasoline these days, you only get 18 miles per gallon, if even that with some of these RVs, if you're lucky. Tell me about that cost.
Well, for me personally, it's about $125 a fill up or more. The cost further north is higher than the cost here, and it's painful, but it's worth every penny of it.
It's painful, but then again, it's right in our backyard, Bud Betz.
Yep. I'm pretty happy to be here. It's worth the cost of coming.
It's a cost for you, those people from out of state, but here in New Mexico, we're so fortunate.
Yes.
Last parting words you'd like to share?
Get involved. It's a fun enterprise. The service that you can provide to the people who want to come is second to no experience I've ever seen. Volunteerism is the backbone of what we do here in America, and get involved.
And again, we wouldn't see those balloons going up, Bud Betz,
That's
without
right.
the people volunteering, the Navigator. So
That's right.
Thanks to you, the rest of the crew, and thanks to the Balloon Fiesta. And it's a big organization here in New Mexico. It means a lot to us, and it means a lot to people like Bud Betz from Seattle. Thank you for watching this program. I appreciate it. And thanks to KCHF for bringing you Issues and Answers. We'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
The New Mexico Modern Child Support Family Program works to benefit both parents for the purpose of improving children's lives. It provides the basics of child support, but goes further by helping parents step up to find better job opportunities that get them back on track to paying their monthly child support obligation. Find out how the Child Support Step Up program can help your modern family. Contact New Mexico Child Support today to learn more.
Issues and Answers with your host Diane Kinnewater is presented as a public service to inform, educate, and better the lives of New Mexicans. To comment on today's program or to purchase a copy of any Issues and Answers program, visit sunbroadcasting.org or call us at 505-345-1991.